This conference will now be recorded.
This Microsoft project workshop. This workshop is of 16 hours. It will be conducted over 4 days on Tuesday and Friday, 4 hours a day, completing on 1st May 2020. We will take a break in every session of 4 hours. So we'll take a break of half an hour in every session. We'll start from discussion on project management fundamental that is necessary to understand Microsoft project functions, how it works, and then we'll go over to the basics of Microsoft project. We will see how a simple plan can be prepared, then add some complexity by looking into real life situations. We will see how to update project with actuals, track by measuring variance, report the status effectively. After the workshops, you will reach to a place where you will be able to prepare a meticulous plan, track it closely, and report effectively. Now let me lay down some ground rules which will help all of us to have better experience and make this workshop interactive and interesting. By default, all participants are muted right now. As we are a small group, I'm going to unmute all of you so that you can speak and when you need and have better interactions. I request you to please keep yourself muted, unmute when you need to speak, and mute again once you are done. This will help in reducing the noise and disturbance and communicating with better voice quality. When you have a question and something is in progress, please write down your questions in the chat box instead of holding it and waiting for the right time. Send the questions to everyone so that everyone aware of the questions. I will pick up the questions from chat box. There is a fair possibility that you may get disconnected sometime. Do not worry too much. Just join again using the same link. Use the same email ID and full name to log in again. This is important because your attendance is being tracked through your email ID and name you enter. There is a fair possibility that I also get disconnected. In such case, you may stop hearing me or page may not refresh. Kindly hold on and wait for some time. I will join back soon. If network gives some problems and you have difficulty hearing me or page may not refresh or page refresh with delay, just highlight it to me through chat box. Let's make this workshop interactive and discussion oriented. Share your voice, share your views, opinion, respond to questions, exercise, ask questions and clarify all the doubts. There is no separate question answer session. In fact, complete training is all about experiencing, asking questions, and discussing answers. Let me explain you how you can generate questions and maximize your takeaway from this training. The first condition to have question is your complete involvement. Keep all distractions away. Here are few tips that will help you keep distractions away. Put your mobile phone on silent. Don't keep it on vibration and keep it face down. People who calls you are unaware that you are in training. Use your mobile phone during the break or after the session. Close your all email applications. Open them only after the session. You can put an out of office reply letting the sender know that the response will be delayed. Switch off all the alerts you have set for yourself. Please do not try to do things in parallel. You are not a Superman. If you have something really very urgent, attend that, complete it, and then come back here. This is far better than doing things in parallel. Children are loving creatures. They don't disturb you if they know that you are doing an important job. Just explain them what you are doing and why it is important. And if they really need you, just attend their needs and come back. We are here for them. They are not here for us. You will maximize your takeaway by keeping distractions away and stay fully involved. You don't learn by listening as much as through interactions and doing exercise. Any questions so far?
No, Prakash, I'm good. Thank you for the
Yep.
introduction.
Yeah,
Okay.
thanks a lot, and we are good to go. Yep, thanks.
Okay,
Thanks, sir.
great.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Keep yourself muted until unless you have to speak. To start with, let's have a round of introduction to know each other. To keep it short, we will limit our introduction to the information relevant to this workshop. Just speak out your name, your location, your organization, the role you play, your total years of experience, your experience in project management. Are you already using MS Project? If yes, please let me know your experience and proficiency level. What kind of issues you face in your day-to-day life with respect to scheduling, tracking, and reporting. So if you highlight those issues, it will help me to tailor this program and address the issues which are important for us. Share a few, one or two as such on the top of your head, that's all. And lastly, what your primary 1 or 2 or 3 expectations, say, or takeaways from this training, or reasons to join this workshop. We may not be, if we are not going to cover anything, then I will let you know. Okay, for the simplicity, let me put this thing so that we remember what we are talking about. Just a minute. Okay, I think this will help. Okay, so let's go ahead with the introduction. I think we can go one by one. I can call from my list. Maybe Ashish can come, and I will suggest you that when you speak out your introduction, keep your video on. So let's other people also know who is talking. If you have your video, that's fine. If you don't have video, just forget about it.
Yeah, sure, Vivek. Hi, Vivek, and hello all. My name is Ashish Verma. I'm based out at Pune, and I'm working with Aditya Group. I'm taking a role as a P2P process head, where I'm heading a team of approx 40 to 50 people, and my total years of experience is around 14. And project management, I would not say here that I'm having any experience on the project management, though I'm in the management role, but I want to enhance my skill. That is the reason I'm in this training today. and it's new for me, project management. Though I have handled a couple of projects, but I have never worked under the MS project skills. Issuing on a daily basis, there are a lot of issues in the organization which we face during the project's starting phase and till the study phase. So as I said earlier, also wanted to enhance my skills on the MS project. That is the reason I'm here. That's it from my end. Vivek, you are on mute. Vivek, you are on mute.
Okay, yes, yes. So I say just speak out some one or two issues which you normally face, so we understand that what kind of issues normally come up. So take care of that. Try
See,
to take care
normally,
of it.
yeah, sure. Normally, when you are having a lot of data,
Hmm.
so how to prepare those data, then how to present in front of the stakeholders. So, I mean, these are the basic things which we have on a daily basis when you go in front of these stakeholders and you have to present in a very short slide or in a short graphical manner so that the management can understand.
Okay.
And definitely how for every new project how you are stabilizing the phases, like one or three phases will be there in the any projects starting from the
Hmm.
parallel and the study phase. So how you are planning those phases, that is very big concerns for any new project.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ashish.
No
Let's
problem.
go to Nikhil.
Hello. Yeah, good morning, guys. This is Nikhil Kulkarni. I'm basically, my organization is out of Thane, but I stay at Kolhapur due to this lockdown
Okay.
period. My organization is Science by Design. We basically deals in all kinds of laboratory projects, be it pharma or any kinds of lab, chemical, R&D. I'm working there as a project manager, and I'm heading a team of around 10 to 11 people, including my maintenance team. My total project experience is around 8+ years, whereas total experience is around 9. So only 1 year I have worked in other than project department. Uh, I'm kind of naive, you can say, in MSP. I knew this software, but couldn't able to get my hands on it. It's basically, I know it's kind of I look at it as an Excel itself, but I couldn't do anything much about MSP. So the issues that I faced is we know that the MSP kind of tools are available in the market, which are ready to help us out through our complex project. But since the lack of proficiency in using these softwares, we are not doing our fullest, and we keep on doing the things manually. And that's why I believe that let's take use of this available resources, the tools that we can do. Recently, I've also got my PMP credentials. So I also believe that this will help me to earn my another set of PDUs to maintain this certification. So it's a kind of dual benefit that I'm getting. And yeah, I believe I've covered all the points. Yeah,
Yeah, you will get PDUs definitely. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And what is your
Thanks.
primary expectation? Like learning MS project, as you said in your issues, that's
Uh,
you are not able to use it fullest. So let's
right.
learn it and use it in fullest in your projects, right?
Yes. Just to get the proficiency and to hands-on experience and the mastery of the tool is the requirement, so that
Hmm.
all my projects can get help of it. Yep.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Nikhil.
Yep. Thank
That's
you.
I think I also have Mukul there. So Mukul, can you?
Hi, this is Goto.
Yes,
Am I able to hear?
yes. It's quite loud actually.
Okay, sorry. I am joining from Jamnagar. I am working with Nera Energy as a maintenance manager. My total experience is 5 years. Well, I don't have any project management experience right now, but we used to do scheduling and scheduling for shutdowns and many sorts of shutdowns actually. So I used to do in Excel for this scheduling. So I want to do, I want to make an hands-on experience on project management so I can fast track my job.
Good, good. So any issues you face?
Right, just actually Excel is very slow in project this scheduling and forecasting. So I need some tool to fast track my job actually.
Ah, okay, okay. Great, great. Thank you very much, Nukul. Let's go to Rajiv.
Hi, good morning, everyone. You can hear me, no?
Yes, yes, we can.
Okay, my name is
Yes.
Rajiv. I'm working in Marquardt, India, in Pune. So I'm working as a team manager for mechanical design, and have a total of 18 years of experience in mechanical design. I don't have a project management experience, but I'm a part of many projects. So normally I had to do the scheduling and the resource planning for my team in each project. So currently we are using a software called like R-Plan. It's a German software, but it's not that user friendly because we have always have some difficulties to allocate the resource for every. So my company has a plan to shift to Microsoft. So that's the reason I'm planning to join for this course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you face any
So
kind of issues when managing or become participating in the project activities?
mainly because right now, as I said, that currently we are using an R-Plan software, so it's not that user friendly because it's very hard. I mean, a lot of complications, and especially when the resource, when I'm assigning the resources, is not showing whether the resource is already occupied or whether he's be
Right.
assigned with another project. So it's a lot of difficulties in doing those things in our plan software. So company has a plan to shift to MS project.
Hmm.
So that's what I want to explore the options in MS project.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's go to
Thank you.
Rakesh. Rakesh.
Yeah, good morning all. Just a minute. Just start my camera.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Good morning all,
Good.
my friends. Myself, Mr. Rakesh Katkar. I am based in Pune, and my organization name is Zeal Precision Engineering India Private Limited. I am the director over there, and my total work experience is 16 years now. And regarding project management, yes, we do a lot of work. Actually, we are into manufacturing of precision machine components, and we are catering to many industries worldwide. So we are working on a project basis, a particular project for particular industry. So my proficiency is very less as compared to the other people who are working in an organization, and I wish to cope up with them and utilizing this lockdown period very effectively. And I was happy to know that Vivek sir was conducting this particular program in this lockdown and online, because this online is also very new to us, and we have never utilized, we have never came across this online platform earlier. So the issues, like, I want to know more about this. There are no issues as such, and how effectively we can utilize this MS project platform. I didn't have this software. I wake up today at 4 o'clock in the morning. I downloaded it from the web. I already shared with Vivek sir that 2010 version I downloaded. Now, as of today, I'll work with it. And maybe in our next session, we will come back with 2016 or 2013. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Rakesh. Thank you very much. Okay. Let's go to Zafar.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Can you hear me?
Hi, good morning.
I'm Zafar Iqbal, located at Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, basically from Pakistan. I'm from telecom sector, and I'm working since 2011 in telecom sector, Saudi Arabia. My actual role was quality, and recently I am promoted to as an implementation manager in my organization. I have a telecom project to be implemented soon. Already started as start of 2020 means January. Actually, my role is to implement the plan and the schedule, and any activity that has to be assigned by the senior management as per the agreed plan. I'm not new in the project management, but actually the role is recently changed. I am PMP certified since 2017, and now I am going to renew my credential in end of May. So as we are getting 15 PDUs of this course, so it will also be means I can utilize these. Though I already completed my 60 PDUs, but I heard that I can take it carry forward for next renewal. For the MS project, I will start it using now. I don't have a previous experience, so it will be good for me to attend this meeting and get it familiar with this, and inshallah it will be helpful for me and everybody. So hope I will get it the most from this. Thank you.
Yeah, but just can you like kind of issues, because you are doing some kind of implementation or involved in project management and projects. If you can state out some kind of issues which you face actually.
Actually, the project management, we have to arrange the schedule, and we have to, though it was done by the management before I was in quality, but now I have to do it. So I want to use the MS project to, as per the Gantt chart and the schedule, planning the schedule, and HPEP, PEP, and means the detail PEP I have to now make. So I'm interested to do it, though I didn't utilize it yet because the project is now in initiating and we didn't go for the implementation so far. So I have to use it for the first time in this project.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, so let me also like close this. I have around more than 25 years of experience in the industry, and doing project management for over, you can say around for over 15 years, and practicing project management, helping people in project management, having like used to have some several project managers under me, and then doing a lot of voluntary work to help people learn project management. Even at the time when I used to work with the organizations, I was participating in a lot of voluntary activities so that the project management capability can be improved. And later when I found there is a lot of people from outside, because I was doing a lot of voluntary work, people are outside looking for such kind of help. I decided to start this consultancy on project management. So for a long time, I am actually, even you can say in 2004, I created a PMP club as such. So where I was helping, or I was instrumental in helping people to understand that certification, understand project management, do this certification, retain this certification, kind of things. And since then, I'm keep doing something here and there. I write for PMI for their blog website called projectmanagement.com. So if you want to learn more about projectmanagement.com, project management, you can go to projectmanagement.com. It is owned by PMI. I have been instrumental, or I have been like leading teams to translate PMBOK into Hindi as such. So I did it 2 times. So like this is one of the things which I keep doing. And then MS Project is something initially I learned my own, then I go more formal in this. And most of the things I have learned in MS Project practically is by helping other people achieving success in their projects. And that's how I have become like that. And I find that I have enough knowledge so that I can help people as such in this area. Now, I'm running this organization called pmwares for almost like 6 years running. And in this organization, we do two kind of things. One is the training part, and another is the consulting part. In the training part, we do public training like this one, and with the two common programs which we regularly do is MS Project and the project management, PMP certification. And the second other programs which we do is project management fundamentals, risk management, but they are not so frequent actually. But these are pretty standard trainings. The second part is for the corporates, and those trainings are often customized and often built for them only, depending upon what they are looking for as such. So we go understand their issues, understand their problems and needs, and then we try to put up a design a training program which will actually address their issues and needs. On the other side, we do consulting things. So there we help people to get organized, do the project in a systematic way, implement project management best practices, have their formal, proper project management processes which they can follow and can have more predictable outcomes. We help them establishing the project management systems, like we have helped many people, many organizations in establishing MS Project based project scheduling and tracking system. We help people in mentoring, coaching, guiding the teams to implement, handhold them so that they can initial teething trouble they can overcome easily and can get into the proficiency of project management faster. So like we develop the processes, help train them, and then handhold them for some time so that they can adopt the change easily. So this is all in a nutshell we do as part of this organization. Now let's go to the if you have any question, you can ask me right away. Otherwise, we just move on our main agenda. Okay. Fine, there are no questions as such right now, but we can go ahead with this. This is basically we cover in this presentation some basic steps or some fundamentals of project management, which are, I say, necessary to understand MS Project and how it works and what is the role of MS Project in the overall project management. So I think this is all done. This is what we normally cover in this. So I think we are done with the introduction. Then getting started is more about this simple presentation for some time. Then we look into that how we create the schedule, and then in a plain simple manner how a simple schedule can be prepared. Okay, I will go from a very initial thing because many of us have no previous knowledge or have experience with MS Project, and how we can put together a simple schedule with in a systematic manner with a like right steps, and then we will add some complexity and try to optimize schedule with respect to the variation in task, with respect to the resources, the challenges we face and how to overcome them. And then we look into that how to track project, how we can report the project, and at the end I will give you a case study to do so that you are confident that you can do this thing once this training is over. Let us start with some understanding that what is a project. So I will it's a simple definition which is taken from PMBOK, but I would like that I hear from you that what you think practically what is a project. Anyone want to put his views what is a project?
Project is a temporary endeavor to get a new product, a change, a unique product, a result or update, having a definite start and end date with a result. Thank you.
So definite start and there is a definite goal. Okay. Anybody want to add anything in this?
I think project is basically a set of inputs and outputs required to achieve a particular goal.
Okay. Some inputs, outputs to achieve a specific goal, right? Anything more, less?
I would add to him just to share. To achieve any goal, we need the resources. And resources maybe in terms of man, machine, material, money, or
Right.
method, and they are
Right.
limited. Resources are never unlimited. We have to take care of them while working in a particular time slot. The project helps. If we consider it as a project, we think in a particular manner and try to understand how we can complete it in a particular time frame with the available resources.
So with available resources, how we can complete this the project in time as such. Okay. 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 What else? Anybody else want to add into this? Okay. So basically, what you're saying is by and large true, but a very simple definition of a project is that if you have a goal, if you have an objective to achieve in a limited time, then basically you are actually in a project, right? So whenever you have any goal, any objective and want to achieve this in a certain time, in a limited time, so the project has a definite start and a definite end. So everything has definite start, but project has a definite end. And on the contrary, which we normally compare the project with the operations, operations may not have a definite time to complete. They may go on for a long time. Second thing is that project goal is unique actually. So whatever it delivers to achieve that goal, product, service, or results, it's unique. Unique means it has not been achieved earlier. It has not been done earlier. It's something new. So in that sense, if you look at the operations, operations are normally have repetitive tasks and a same things to be developed. So for example, if you simply take a water bottle, it like if initially first time it was designed, then it was a project. When it is developed and it is accepted, then it moves into operations. So normally projects when complete moves into operations. And in operations, what happens? The same bottle is getting produced in several quantity, and you don't know how long you will continue. So that is where the project has a distinction from the operations. What is project management?
Hi Vivek. We can say that, as I said earlier, is an input and output within a specific goal period or for a specific goal. So on this basis, project manager, we can consider that it's a practice of initiating that particular project, then a planning, then how we are going to execute that project, how we are going to control that project, and definitely the closure of that project.
Yeah, so project management, you say the action of initiating, action of planning, action of executing, that is the monitoring and control, the execution, guiding, monitoring and control, and then the part of closure, right? But maybe planning and other things will be quite big. So what is there? Like in planning, we will be planning the time, the schedule, we will be planning the
Deadlines.
scope, deadlines, yeah, scope, what is to be done, right?
Right, in
And
scope, then deadlines of each levels or stages.
right, what else? As Rakesh highlighted, the resources,
Yeah, correct. Highlight the resources and
some risk part, managing uncertainty.
yeah, the failure and success of definitely will be there.
Yeah, quality,
Mm-hmm.
procurement, buying things from outside, managing vendors,
Yes.
suppliers.
Yeah, correct.
So if you look at this, the task which we are doing in project management, and if you look at that in a simple project or any project, complex or simple, if there are 10 people in a project, that how many project manager we may be expecting? One, right?
Yes, we can say one.
Out of, so probably what we are doing, that one project manager and 9 technical people, correct?
Mm-hmm.
That way, if you see in a project, if this team is maintained just for simplicity purpose from begin to end, then maybe just project management, we are talking about just 10% of the part of the whole project, because one person is doing project management. Rest 9 people are doing technical work. So 90% technical work, 20% only project management, right? Probably some senior technical people may be doing some kind of management, helping project manager, or probably some kind of management role is downloaded to them to end up doing some kind of dual work. We can say that, okay, maybe not 10%, maybe 15%, or max to max 20%, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, so in a project, we are just talking about that if we focus on project management, we don't focus on only on this 20%. Now look at this. How, if I ask you, this is a question to everyone, if you can respond. all projects are happening and you may be facing several issues, as everybody says that there are some issues, and that's what the project manager actually being required also to. If there are issues, I think project manager role will become redundant. From where these issues come? They come from the project management side, or these issues come from technical sides?
You can say it is mixed.
It is a mix.
Yeah. Even that
If
there
it
are a
is a
lot of.
mix, if it is a mix, what is the percentage you think that how much percentage problems coming from technical side and how much percentage problems coming from management side?
I think so. 80% come from the management side, 20% from the technical side. That's for my thinking.
Your perception, 80% from management, 20% from technical side. Okay, let's see what the views of the people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I also believe that since we have kind of technical people around, the technical issues are kind of less and can be handled. But management issues are something which often comes with related to management skills of the people. So those are more in general any projects.
Okay, okay. So you also think that it is 80-20%?
Yep, sure. Yeah.
Okay. Any other view?
Yeah, I would say that around 70 to 30%, because mostly the issues will is happening in the coordination, because coordinating with other departments, less issue with the technical things, but mostly the coordinating with other department, with customers, those things we are facing difficulties.
Okay. So anybody has a contrary view, or all think that it is the most issues come from management only?
Mostly issues are coming from management side, and for me it's 90 and 10. 90% management, because even if it's a technical issue, it can be handled by management by looking for alternate solution. That's also part of because if you are going for any project, technically it's doable at the start of the project. So no such thing that it's not doable. Even if you are starting a project, you are giving to some contractor or someone, technically you already their results, means their proposal, and most of the part it's the issue of the management, means it's not properly coordinated, it's not properly arranged, it's not properly scheduled as per the requirement. So for me, it's 90% management issue and 10% technical issue.
Okay, okay. You mostly say that it is by and large issues which we are seeing in the projects are actually coming from management. So we more or less all agree on that the problems are normally coming from management. But why so many problems, or most of the problems coming from management? The manager is there to solve problems and he is generating more problems. Are we saying that this instead of solving?
See, Vivek,
At the end of the day, sir, people drive the project.
People are driving, that's fine, but people are doing technical work also. But problems are not coming from there.
see, I would say here like a 50-50, because no one take a blame, or I would say like pulling the ball into each other courts whenever the problem comes. People say sometimes it's a management side, then people sometimes say it's a technical side. Technicals, why? Because might be technical team doesn't have that particular skill set, and from technical team might be they are not getting support from the management to getting the approvals of the things which they require. So it's basically a two wings of the where they required each other supposed to get into the results what they require exactly.
Okay. So two things you said, that one is probably maybe the technical person does not have enough capability, or he's not
Yeah,
getting
particular
support from management.
Yeah.
Both the things looks to be management problem only. Because technical person is not having capabilities, who hired him? Manager only. Why did he hire a less capable person? And he's not getting management support, then it is a manager problem, management problem, right?
Agreed. Agreed.
Where is the technical problem? There is no. They are also management. The thing is that when what is the role of manager in a project?
We can say a manager can play a role of more than a person which kind of facilitator who facilitates in between things, materials, team, people, and yeah, more often facilitator kind of thing. He keeps on managing these things, materials and people.
So that things go in a better way, more organized, more coordinated way, right?
Right, right.
So that issues should be less, right?
In a way, yes, but then it depends on the facilitation skills of that person. If he's not able to say, suppose, if not able to coordinate in between these two, man and material, then uh, uh, the problem is with the manager's skill sets kind of thing.
Right.
Because if one cannot facilitate in between two things, then the problem lies there. The other two things are working fine at their end. But when the coordination comes in between that and the facilitator is not facilitating nicely, then comes an issue. And then all other these blame games and everything gets on starting.
So basically, we can say that whole issue is about the capability of the project manager, not the capability of the technical people exactly.
True, true.
Yeah.
Now, why we see that there is a lack of capability of the project manager? Now, if you look at the root cause, very simple, you can see that most of the managers are basically technical in nature. They were all technical people as such earlier. They didn't, most of project managers, they didn't join the industry as a manager or as a person of management skill. They joined the industry as a person of technical skills, right? Most of us.
Right.
True. True.
We all were engineers before become project manager.
Yeah, true.
And one fine day, when because we are performing very well as technical person, we become manager on one fine day. And with technical skills, we start managing people or the work. So now the whole thing occurs because I use technical skills to manage the people or manage the work or coordinate among the people, right? So what we are doing basically, we are we have weapon of some other work, but doing something else. Like we have a sword, but we are working in kitchen, or maybe we have a small knife, but we are in the war. Or this is even closer actually. Probably we are totally sometimes irrelevant kind of skills actually for the respect to project management. So project management skills are not there, and that's where the whole issue is occurring in the project. Otherwise, we have a lot of technical people. I learn from people wherever I go, do a lot of these consulting assignments and I take. So we have excellent technical people, but we don't get results out of it. We have lot of Tendulkars and Virat Kohli in our team, but or Rohit Sharma, something like that, but we are not getting any captain actually out of it, who can keep them together and really go for win, something like that. Right?
Yeah, correct.
Correct.
So the captaincy skills are in problem actually. Now, even other places also, this is by and large in all the industry, this is the problem. So why this problem occurs, I simply say that if a technical person is a person of depth. He's expected to go into the deeper and figure out what is to be and bifurcate everything and see that, okay, the issue is here, let's fix it. But you know, the manager is a person of breadth. Everything happening in the project is his responsibility. And if he get into some technicals or he use the technical skills of the skills of that, he will just stuck to one thing. If he try to solve one thing, he can, the other places you can see a fire, try to extinguish that fire, he may see a fire at another place. And that's keep happening, and we see that there are fire all the time. We are just extinguishing the fire here and there, because there is absence of holistic approach. And that's what the project management brings, that there are several corners, several sides of this project. We have to bring them together and see that how we can manage them together so that everything in the project is in our control or we are able to guide it. Many times what happens, a technical person is a doer actually. Now you doing the things and getting it done from the other person is a completely different science actually. Most of the people find that they are asking people to do, but they don't do actually. That's the biggest problem. And if the work is with them, they would have done it, but they cannot do everything in the project. And when they see the problems, they don't know what to do, so they try to solve themselves, and that doesn't work. So let's see what the good thing is that about this program, that we are focusing on this 20%. If you look at this 20% is creating problem in 80%. They're not allowing 80% to do their job because just 20% is not in order. And the Pareto principle applies here also, that the problem 80% problems are because of the 20% cause, and which is here actually. So if we fix a lot of things, the things in the project management, we see that the technical team will be able to do the job in much smoother. So let's focus on his and see that what kind of issues we occur and how we solve them. Anytime you have any question, please feel free to ask. In a typical project, this is how it works. We just talked about, I think he's just talked about that. We start with the initiation, that conceptualizing the project, understanding what is to be delivered at the end, what is our goal, objective, and what we deliver at the end, conceptualizing the outcome of the project. With this concept, we move into planning. What is planning? Listing down the steps. Listing down the steps. For what? For that steps which can realize the concept. So we have a concept, we put up a list of steps. If executed, can convert the concept into reality. And then we move to execution. And execution is all about implementing the plan. So what we have a plan, what we have is steps we have listed down, and we can execute. And if we execute it properly, we will be realizing the concept. but we have issues. Our plan is not very good. Even the plan is good, our execution is not very disciplined, and therefore there will be a gap. So that's what we do in monitoring. Plan versus actual. There is a plan, there is an actual. There is an actual is not exactly as per the plan. There is a variation, and we in monitoring we try to measure this variation and try to find why this variation is coming, and is a companion controlling. That is the next step, that we find what is the variance, why this variance is coming, and how to control this, like taking steps that can bring the project back on the track, that can bring the project back onto the track. That is controlling. Control is action which can bring the project back onto the track. Now this circle keep going on. So we correct the action will change the plan, then we go to the execution with a change plan, we find some variations, we monitor it, again correct the plan, this keep going happening till the time all the deliverables are ready and accepted by the stakeholders. And once these stakeholders accepted all the deliverables, the project is over, then we go to the closure part. So closure part is basically a wrap-up process. It is like doing an exercise of lesson learned. Otherwise, the lesson learned keep happening throughout the project, but like consolidating those lesson learned, understanding in the project what went well, what didn't go well, and how we can improve our next project. Generating a report which talks about that how much success we have got in this project. Transitioning the outcome, that is the product, service, whatever it is, to the next team, that is maybe an operation team or maybe just archives, and creating an archival file which contains all the documents generated in this project and keeping it in a safe place, so that if we get a similar project, we can go to these archives and understand how the project went and what we can learn from that project to do this project better. Now, from initiation to the closure, we do all these things. This is a different view of the project. One is sequential from initiation to closure, and this is something like parallel. From initiation to closure, we keep doing all these things, like a scope management. That is what is to be done in the project. Time management. That is what is to be, when is to be done. Cost management, in how much is to be done. Resource management, who will do this. And then we have stakeholders around who are expecting a lot from the project or ready to contribute in the project. We manage them with our good communication skills. We need to manage the uncertainty in the project. We need to manage the quality of the project and the product both, and then manage the suppliers, vendors who procure the required things. And that's not enough. Everything is to be done in a synchronous manner, that is we call project integration management, and that has become the primary responsibility of the project manager. So keeping all hands in sync. So other things can be delegated to different team members, project management team or the technical team, wherever you find capability, but the integration management is something which cannot be delegated. The project manager's primary responsibility that keep every hand in the project in sync, so that expected outcome can be generated and received, and further expected outcome can be generated. Handshaking happen in a very smoother manner. So throughout the project, from initiation to closure, we need to do all these things. There is no concession given as such, and in an integrated manner, just not doing, but an integrated. If you're doing but not integrated, your project will not be a success project. Now you see that 4 bubbles are here, are in green, rest are in amber. Now why these 4 are in green? Anybody can guess why these 4 are in green?
The, these can be the these are the main project constraints, and if handled well, the project can be measured successfully, kind of thing.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. These are the major constraints in the project. Anybody else?
If you change any of these, the other 3 will be affected. Means there's like if you change the scope, the time will change, the cost will change, the resource will be most probably the change means it will require extra time or need new resource. Such as like cost. If you change the cost, maybe the time will change, the scope will change. Also, you will need some additional or less resource. So it's directly impacting each other.
Correct. So they are interrelated, very tightly connected to each other. In fact, all the things which you are seeing here, they are internally connected. Even the changes in occurring in the amber bubbles also impact these things at the end of the day. So why I have put them in green? The simple reason is that this is the thing which MS project does. This is where the MS project play a role. So what MS project does, it's manage scope, time, cost, and resources. And what MS project does is like give you a platform to balance this triangle. We call it triple constraint triangle, as she says that it is they are major constraint. Yes, anything else everywhere you changes in the project ultimately will impact one of these things and disbalance this triangle.
It's true.
So what we do actually try to balance this triangle. If we be able to balance this triangle, we will be able to deliver a quality product. That is the delivery on our promises, right? So if there is a challenge in the scope side is a little tweaked. We try to balance it by adding resources, that is on the cost side, adding cost, or getting some time on the time side so that it becomes balanced. If it is a cost, then we try to see that on the scope, if we can change your time, we can change so that we can address that. So we try to balance by like this triangle by if one side is tubed, then trying to adjust other 2 sides to bring the triangle in shape. And that is what you can do in MS project very well. So MS project has your scope, all the activities to be done. It has the time is its primary like objective, so time. And because you have added resources, the cost also it takes care. And you can anytime you can see if something has changed in the project, you can see that where the impact is going and how we can cover that up and give a platform to do some kind of if then else kind of scenario and see that which one will work for us. So this is what MS project will like. It's a platform which allow us to do this kind this tweaking of this triangle and keep it in balance so that we can deliver the on the promises we have made. So how we do this in the MS project is something like this. Because project goes from initiation to closure, so in initiation time we actually set up the project. We when we create a new project, we take care that we take care of the things at the time of initiation. Then we move into the planning. We see that all the basic constituents of the scheduling, that work breakdown structure, estimates, dependency, constraints are taken care of. Resources are identified, they are allocated, try to build up complete schedule. and we go into tracking. We collect the actual data and update the project plan, project schedule, and see that tracking, how much is the variance and from where it is coming. Analyze that schedule, try to find some corrective action, and putting those correcting actions, generating the reports, keeping the stakeholder updated with that status, so that they are confident that the project will be finished, and or what kind of help is required from that side which project is looking for. And at the end, when the project is over, the time of closure, there are a lot of data which had been collected in the MS project. We try to analyze that data and see that what we can learn, where the things have gone wrong and where the things are going right, and what is the takeaway from this project, so that our new project is better than this one. Now let me brief you on what MS project is all about. Though it is here, you can see that 2016 is written, but it doesn't matter. It's equally valid. Whatever I'm telling, it's equally valid for 2010, 2013, 2016, 2019, or any other version as such. This is absolutely basic fundamentals apply to everything, every version. Version is irrelevant in this case. Let's look at this image. Actually, this will give you a better idea that what MS project is all about. So MS project has components like project standard and project professional, which by and large are same. This is the software which get installed on our laptop or computer, and this is the software which you have installed, which I actually give you the link, or you already have it. It depends. Okay. Now, difference between project professional and project standard is that the standard is a standalone software. It cannot participate in enterprise-wide project management system. So the project manager in isolation work on project standard. And if there is a communication has to be happen with the team member, it happens through email or PDF files. You don't have a system to communicate with your team members. On the professional side, project professional, which is a similar product of my large, it is actually what project manager does is planning, tracking is through project standard or project professional. But project professional has the capability to connect with the server and participate in enterprise-wide project management system. Additionally, it also has some additional features which are not there in standard. Probably Microsoft has decided that way to keep more features in professional. Now, what happens in this case, in the whole, how the information flows in this? A project manager plan his project in project professional and publish its projects. Publish its project means it push the project to server. The server has some configuration setup already done. It knows who are the team members, and when the project plan is published on the server knows which task is assigned to whom. So what it does, it sends out an email, an email to all the team members that what is assigned to them in the project, and give an interface through project web app, in short, or in generally commonly says PWA, to give an interface to log in into the project server and see what is assigned to him. So if there are 5 projects on which the team member is assigned, he may be getting those emails, plus he will, when he logs in, he can see all the 5 projects and what is assigned to him. Plus it gives a facility, it gives an interface to team members to report his progress. So he can log in into this, he can see what is assigned to him, he can report his progress, how much is completed, what is how much time he has spent, how much more to, what is the forecast. Such things he can update in the project server. And when the project manager next time connect with the project server and sync up his project plan, those actual data will move to the project professional, and you can see the actual data against the plan you have put up and see what kind of variance is there and what to do. And then you can see your scope time cost triangle and see that how to balance it out. Additionally, it also gives the interface to project manager. In case project manager doesn't have this project professional or access to its computer or laptop, he can directly log in into the project server and can see his project. However, this interface have lot of capability constraints with respect to the professional. So what all you can do with professional, you can do a limited work through direct login into the project server. Additionally, it gives an interface to a senior manager. You can say program manager or portfolio manager. Basically, portfolio manager, we call it the portfolio manager can do a portfolio analysis. So it can put up that what kind of objective its portfolio has from his organization and can define parameters and can connect those parameters to the project status, the project task and project in the project, so that when the project progress is updated, he can do a portfolio analysis of all those projects which are coming under him, can see the consolidated status, plus can see how these projects are performing against the portfolio objectives, can understand which project is going very well, which project need repair and intervention. And sometimes if the portfolio manager has some kind of cost constraints and he want to get away with the project with one project, he can see in the portfolio which project is not performing very well, which can be taken out from the portfolio or can be put on hold or cancelled, whatever it is. So this is how the overall, we call it product suite, because there are a couple of products like project standard, project professional, project server, project PWA, project portfolio analysis kind of. This is overall project interface. If you have any question, please let me know.
This project professional is kind of a software, or it's a system integrated with the server, and where this MSP stands in all this thing?
Project professional is the software which is installed on your computer.
Okay.
So the software which you have installed on your computer, actually it is project professional or project standard. I don't know, because you don't have a server, you probably go for project standard also. But when the project server will come into picture, you probably have to discard the project standard and have to buy project professional. So okay. Project standard, project professional are the software which is installed on your computer. Yes, Rakesh.
Project, if we want to implement this in our company, we need to have all of this product suite?
Not necessary exactly. So many organizations are working with project professional as such. But I normally, whenever I go for consulting, helping the setting up the project related tracking system, and if the organization has not put up anything, I normally suggest them to start with project professional, get a little maturity in project professional, and when they start feeling themselves the constraint with respect to the collaboration, coordination among the team member and like lot of emails, etc., then I will ask them, okay, now bring the server in picture. Currently, like with the licenses, the way the licenses has been set up, earlier setting up a project professional was a quite effort intensive job, plus quite expensive also. But now it is like inbuilt in the cloud license. So if you buy a cloud license, a subscription license of project professional, the hosted project server come along with it. Hosted means Microsoft has already hosted it on their server. And so you can have a you can already have a completely set of project server available to you. So you can start from very beginning or probably maybe later, but when you bring server, wherever the multi-user system you can bring, it will enforce some kind of discipline. It will not allow you to do something and will make you do things in a specific way, because it's a multi-user environment, cannot be given the kind of freedom. But it will bring discipline also. So that's why I say get matured with the project professional. Once you are okay, update the project manually, no issues. Once you see that there's a it's okay, you are familiar and you are feeling constrained, you are really seeing the value of the project server that it will bring, then these kind of benefits I will bring, then you can actually start utilizing the project server can bring, because that's going to bring some kind of extra expenses, because team member need licenses to log in into the project server. Though it is cheaper, much cheaper than project professional, but it's still there is a cost attached to it. So if there is no further question, I will move to direct on the MS Project tool, and will show you the interface, that how it looks like and what you can find there, so that it becomes you could become little familiar with it. Okay. So Rakesh, when you are done, you just mute yourself, and when you have to speak, just unmute and then mute again. Okay. Now this is, I have opened a MS MS project with a sample schedule, so that I can take you around it. So this looks like any other Office application as such. You have some tabs, you have some groups under tabs, and then you have some command under the groups. So the two tabs you will see first. The one is the task, another is the resources. So in MS Project, two things are like very prominent, and in fact the whole MS Project run around it. The task need to be done, and the person who will going to perform the task, and the resources you need to perform the task, right? The task you need to perform, and the people who going to perform the task, and the resources, material, machine, equipments, costing, the whatever money they need to perform the task. These two things are there. So one tab is dedicated for tasks, and there are so many features are available, the operations are available, and one tab is dedicated for resources, not as much, but like one tab is fully dedicated for this. Then you can see there is a tab called format. The format tab is actually doesn't do much, but before format there is another tab called project. So the operations or the features on the task tab normally impact the task. To change something in the task, you have to use the task tab. To change something related to the resource, exclusively for resources, some resource related changes, then you can come to the resource tab. But the project tabs contain the features which are not specific to task or resource, but they impact both, or something is common. which is actually impacting the complete project or something which affects the complete project. So project tools like calendars, like they apply to everyone. So those all common tools are there in project. Okay. Then there's a format tab. The format tab, the thing is that any feature in the format tab does not have any impact on the schedule. It is basically to highlight something, make it prominent, or subvert something, downgrade something, something to be highlighted, some color changes, some color scheme you don't like this, or showing something, not showing something. But it doesn't, none of the command participate in scheduling, therefore they don't change scheduling as such. It's more a change in the presentation. Another thing is report. Report basically bring the report section, which help us to like create some kind of report from our project. So we can create some template, and when they update the data, we can have these reports and can send it to stakeholders. So there are report related, there are various commands where you can help, they will help you to understand the variance, to generate various reports, to customize those reports, to create reports like what you want, add graphs and tables, or the visual reports where the data can be exported to an Excel, and then exported to an Excel, and then you can see the graph and data in Excel. So all reporting related, variance related things, or tracking related things can be there in the report. The last one is the view. The view help us to change the view. So view, most of the view are also not like changing anything in the schedule, but views facilitate changes. So suppose I want to make some changes in the task. So in the current view, I cannot change the things in the task. I have to go to the task. So I go to Gantt chart. So I see view, I change the view to Gantt chart. Now, what is the Gantt chart view? Gantt chart view is a typical Gantt chart view which contains the activity name, duration, start date, end date, and a bar graph. And a bar graph, which is based on the duration of each activity. Right? So this is typical Gantt chart. So we call it Gantt chart view. And there are two types of Gantt chart. One is this Gantt chart. We call it a Gantt chart, and there is something called tracking Gantt chart. And tracking Gantt chart is more useful for tracking. Gantt chart is more useful for planning. So for doing different things, you probably need to switch different views. What is a view? View just like if you change the view, that means the information in front of you has changed. Is something has hidden now, other things have surfaced up. Data has not changed anywhere. This is just a view has changed. So if I show you how it is useful. Suppose I want to see my calendar view. So if you right click here on the left hand side where the normally view names you will find, right click here and see, just select calendar. You will get its desk calendar view. You will get a desk calendar view. Desk calendar is like earlier we used to have desk calendars, and it shows you in this month what is happening, what is not happening. The work will start from here, it's going on, so it's a quite long work actually. And here you can see what is other things are happening. This is finishing here, this is starting here, this is finishing here, this is finishing here, this is starting here, finishing here. So I can get a view of the complete month, what is there in this month, and it is easy to manage my month as such, month and week kind of. If I want to see the task related things, I can come to the Gantt chart, because Gantt chart is predominantly be a task view. It gives more information about task. Even it gives a resource information, but it gives like who are the resources allocated to this task. But you want to see the information of the resources. If you want to see the information of the resources, you can change the view to resource view. So you right click here, look at the resource, you can go to the resource sheet, which give you the information about the resource sheet. So you have the resource sheet where all the resources are listed, and all the information about the resources is mentioned here. Any type of resources, either it is a work resource, cost resource, material resource, right? But if the question is that I just don't want to see the resources, or I just don't want to see the task, I want to see who all resources are allocated to a particular task. I want to see the resources allocated to a particular task. In that case, you can change the view. You can change the view to task uses. You will see in the task uses view, you have the task and the resources assigned to it. Task, resources assigned to it. The task, resources assigned to it. The task, resources assigned to it. The task, resources assigned to it. So you will see in the task column that task come along with the resources. So you know who all are working on a particular task. But question may not be that. Question may be opposite side. I have a resource. I want to know on which all tasks he's working. I have a civil engineer. I want to know on which all tasks he's working. So then it will has to be transposed. And what you do, you right click here and use the resource uses. In the resource uses, you see the resource and then the task allocated to that resources. The resource and the task is allocated to him. The resource and the task allocated to him. So it is the resource and which are the tasks on which this resource is required. So that is a resource uses view. You want to see the whole project in a nutshell, you can see the total timeline view on the top. You can see complete. Are you seeing the complete this thing? Let me go to Gantt chart and move it here.
Yeah.
You can see the complete end-to-end. Yes. You can see complete end-to-end project in a nutshell. Like senior people really like such kind of things. They want to say, okay, show me the overall picture. It is showing the overall picture, what is happening, major milestones, when are they coming, and it is also showing the progress. You see here there is a dark, either light, but it's construction only. So construction has happened till this much is construction is done, and this much is left. This much procurement is done, a small portion is left over. This much construction is done, rest is left. So the timeline view basically give you a holistic picture of the complete project, and probably you can send it to some senior management. He may be happy. Like there is a network diagram where you can see the network diagram, how this project is being scheduled or doing as of now. So there are some red cells, there are some blue cells. So basically red cells are your critical path. Red cells are critical path. Anybody understand what is a critical path?
The total duration, it shows the total duration and the longest path of the project.
Yeah, it shows the total duration of the project. So it decides the project duration, and it is normally the longest duration. The critical path is the longest duration, right? And the shortest time you can complete the project. And any task on critical path is delays, the project will be delayed. And therefore, it's important to keep a watch on the critical path. That way, the network diagram is helpful. Okay. So you have this around. So I will suggest you to like take 5-10 minutes. Let's take 5 minutes, roam around your things, try to locate these things which I have told you, because these are the things which are frequently used. At least just get familiarized with this. I will give you 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes, whatever, or 5 minutes as such by default. But if you need more time, let me know. We will continue with that. And then I will go for the next step.
The timeline bar, which is seen over here, I believe that will be getting generated automatically, right?
Yeah,
Entire this picture.
it generates automatically, but we have to create it actually. It doesn't come automatically, but the background, it is there. You need to add tasks to this, what you want to show, what you don't want to show.
Okay, so entire view of the timeline we can modify. I mean, like here you
Yes,
can see two rows, but in
correct.
our software, I guess it's single row. So colors, rows, and everything is manageable.
Is customizable, right? You can change them. Actually, I have changed them. They are not default ones.
Acha, okay, okay.
Is it okay? Should we proceed?
Yes, please.
Okay. So what I will do actually, I will close this project plan.
I just have a question.
Yeah.
How is this 2010 different from 2013 and then 2016? Just a query from my side.
By and large, it is more or less same. The changes are very like are so like small that they hardly make any difference. The major change in 2010 and 13 onwards is this report section.
Okay.
This you will not find there.
Yeah.
This section was introduced after 2010. So major difference is this only. Rest is whatever we are covering in this workshop is exactly same. Now
Basically, you can get the visual reports in 16. You are saying.
you can get the visual reports, but you will not get this.
Dashboard resources.
That's the difference. So I close this thing and I open a blank project. I open a blank project. Now, what we do in the blank project, we will create a schedule. We will create a schedule our own. And that way, by creating schedule, we will learn how to create schedule. So we'll learn by doing things as such. Now, before we start scheduling, we need to do something which is which we do normally with the people who come new to us. For example, like when a new resource come into the team, what happens that we do an induction so that the person know how things work here and it becomes convenient for him to do the work. Similarly, when the MS project you are adopting, you let the MS project know how things work here so that it is easier to work with MS project. And how do you do this? By setting up some options. Now, when I move to this exercise, I will show you what the protocol we will follow in this is that first I will show you and then I will allow you to do that. So first I will show you this is how it happens and then I will say you try do yourself. What we not to do, what we have like prevent doing happening here is that when I am doing, don't do at your end at that time. So let's one at a time. When I am doing, don't do anything in parallel. Doing thing parallel will what happens? You don't understand what I'm saying, and then you either end up asking the same question or you will not understand that. That will be missed out. So what is here is that whenever I am explaining you that this is to be done, please participate in that, ask question related to that, and try to understand how it is to be done. And then I will give you time to do that. At that time, I will not do anything here. And I will try that I can help you in that way. Okay, I will try my best to help you. So when I am doing, you help me by asking questions and by suggesting things. And when I am done and I will ask you to do that, at that time I will help you. If you maintain this protocol, then this training is going to be very effective. But if you do things in parallel, and when I am explaining, then you're going to miss out on some of the things which you will struggle later actually. Okay, so I will show you that how we can set up some basic things related to our organization, that how we work, which gets set into the MS project, and therefore it becomes convenient to work with it. So first thing what we'll do, we'll go to file. This thing only right now I only do it. You just see and ask question related to this and suggest anything if you have something to suggest. In the file you see some options. I click on options and I get this option window. In this option window, I will set up some options which are peculiar to my organization. Like in a display, there are various tabs. So in the display tab, I go and I can change my currency. I can change my currency. So many projects are happening in various currencies. Even though you do in India or elsewhere, the things are happening in dollars. Something is happening in your own currency. Something is happening in internationally like accepted things. One thing which is quite acceptable is something like US dollar. So it is all automatic. My setting is like of Indian setting, so it is having INR by default, but I can change it to looking at the where the US dollars, and I can put US dollars here per month. So first thing first, that I put up the currency. Now, is there a currency conversion in MS project? No. This is very simple. When you write a figure in currency, you write the currency first, so that everybody knows that if you're writing 1,000, that means it is 1,000 this, it is $1,000, it is 1,000 rupees, it is 1,000 pounds, it is 1,000 yen, something like that. So it is just that. So tomorrow, if you change it from USD to rupees or something else, the figures are not going to change. It's just to keep us remembered and everybody know that the figures, the figures which we are talking about is in this term. So it's a unit of figures, basically. That you can do in display. It is related to display only, therefore it is put into display. Second is scheduling. This is important. This is important means like you can have like something like week start on. This is a little cosmetic kind of things. If you want to see Sunday as a first column in the calendar, keep Sunday. If you want to see Monday as a first column, you can do it as Monday. And if you want to see like the Saturday as your first column, you can put up a Saturday. We can keep it as Sunday as the first column. So it is just that. It's nothing much different. So week means week start on Sunday, finish it on Saturday. Nothing make any much difference anywhere. Fiscal year we can just ignore at this point of time. Default start, default end time at different places is different, and you want to change it, you can change it. However, it does not impact scheduling in any manner until and unless the number of hours are going up and down. So it says 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. That means 9 hours in a day. You are in a working office, right? If you are 9 hours in your office for working, then keep this or change this, it doesn't matter. If you are 8 hours in the office, reduce it to 8 hours. Many people but we have to note down that we are 9 hours in office, but we work for only 8 hours. 1 hour is kept for several other things, lunch, tea, coffee, etc., whatever it is. So we work for 8 hours, but we are 9 hours in the office. But if you are 7 hours in the office, but in the 7 hours work, 8 hours in office, then you have to change it for sure. But if 9 hours in office, 8 hours you work, then this is good enough. You want to change it 9 to 6, you can change it 9 to 6. You want to change it from 7 to 4, you can make it 7 to 4. It does not make much difference in scheduling. What is more important is number of hours per day, as I just told you. So what is the normal scenario? 8 hours per day? We normally have 8 hours per day, or less or more? I think in general,
Yes, it.
It's 8, internationally accepted thing. Now, hours per week depend upon how many days you work in a week. So if you work in a week for 5 days, it is 40 hours. If you work 6 weeks, 6 days a week, it becomes 48 hours. If you work 5.5 days a week, then it may be 44 hours. If you work all 7 days, then it is 56 hours. Right? In many places, in many construction sites, actually it is people are working 7 days also. So it all depends. Right now we can keep 40, or we want to make it up and down. You can type in the chat box also as you wish. It's very simple. No need to every time speak out only.
That's fine. It's 40.
Yeah. If it is 40, then most likely it will be 20. That's how it happens. But remember, if your office follow a different timing, then please change this. Otherwise, you will see anomalies. You will preparing a schedule in a manner which cannot be executed in the project on the ground. People will be working in a different time, and you have some different time in the project. It will not match, and you will see the variations. No, days may not be 22, because in general you have some holidays and you take some leaves also. So normally if you have 5 days a week, then accounts, normally it comes from accounts, because they normally do a lot of forecasts considering some kind of benchmarking. So benchmark is that there are 20 days in a month, considering all scenarios. So we average it out, because every month has some ups and downs. So we average it out actually. Okay, so but this setting is very, very important. Must match with the organization timings. Please remember. One more thing you have to do is change this manually scheduled to auto schedule. I will just explain you what is manually scheduled, what is auto schedule. Manually schedule means the MS project scheduling engine is at the rest. It's not working. MS project will work exactly like an Excel sheet. It may have some operation, it may highlight some anomalies here and there, but will not do anything its own. So if you are working in a manually scheduled mode, then you are basically working in Excel. Everything is to be done by you. That's what the problem with Excel. That will continue to be here. So we are not here to work in a manually scheduled mode. We have to work in an auto scheduled mode. Why the hell this manually scheduled mode is kept? Then it is the reason of the manually scheduled mode is that when you start a project, many times there is a big project, you don't have sufficient information to prepare the schedule. You keep that information somewhere in Excel or on paper. So what Microsoft says, no, don't put it here and there. You keep the project in manually scheduled mode and keep some information which is not full, and keep updating this information as it is coming. Once you have matured information, prepare the schedule and switch to auto schedule. But you must work in auto schedule mode. Okay, so change this to, so in general I have seen people don't need manually scheduled mode. You just go to the auto schedule mode and work in. So you can permanently set auto schedule mode also. That's absolutely fine. One more thing is that which you have to change is that duration and work. So the unit by default unit here is for days is for duration is days and for work is hours, which is general is right also. So very common duration unit is days, but if the project is very big, you probably can have week also. If the project is very small, like kind of shutdown of 2-3 days, probably this can be hours also. So that depends upon completely on us actually. So but days is was quite common. We can keep it that days as common as such. So we can keep it days. And if you are bothered about efforts, in some cases maybe some IT companies, they are developing their estimates in efforts, then you should bother about it. Many times when I was estimating, I was estimating in percent days, so I used to switch this from hours to days. But if you are only bothered about duration, you are planning your project in duration estimates, then you just ignore what is the unit of hours. So basically these things to tell you that these things, though I have not changed it, but very important for you to change it if this is not it's not the default for your company.
I have one question.
Yes.
This duration, days or hours, once changed over here, it will be applied to all the tasks, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Is there any way that suppose
Yes.
if the project is big and though the tasks are mentioned in days, but say the big picture I wanted it to convert into weeks. So is there any chance that both days and weeks can be managed in these things in the same
Just only
schedule
for
project?
view. Just only for view.
Right.
Then view can be changed. View, I will show you how to change it. This is mainly
Okay.
because of for the entry purpose. This is mainly because of the entry purpose. So suppose you write 5. So it will be 5 days by default.
Mm-hmm.
So that is why we have put in days. If you want to put a week, then you have to write 5 WK, 5 weeks. For days you need not to.
Okay.
So if the its common unit is days, then you can just try typing 1, 2, 5, 8. So it or days will automatically be taken. Or whatever unit you will set here, that will automatically taken. It will type by default consider that okay, if you have not put the unit, that means default unit it is.
Okay.
But you can enter any unit as such. You can use any unit, but it is by default to make it convenient as such.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Got it.
And with respect to view is not a problem. You can adjust the view anytime. Okay. So as such, for changing purpose, we have changed only one thing, that is manually to auto schedule. So what you do, you go to the files, open the options, maybe display you can change the to USD, and in the schedule you can change this to auto schedule. So just change this. It is over to you now. So change this display USD and schedule auto schedule. You can do anything, but if you just follow me, then it will be easy to figure it out where if you have done something wrong or something, or reconcile at any point of time. Okay, and also it is the time to take a break. So make this change as such, and probably we are somewhat, what is that? Almost at 9 o'clock. So we can like take a break and come back by 9:30, probably 9:25, but we will not delay by after 9:30. So
Sir, should we
we'll
put a
resume at
date or
9:30. Yeah, please.
should we put a date over there in the manual schedule? Particular date we should put over here for
Where?
practice. In the
Where?
schedule, you told me manual schedule, so we should put some particular date over there right now.
No, I didn't say any, we didn't specify any date. In display, we specify USD. In schedule, we specify these things, auto schedule. That's all.
Okay.
And this will remain the same. That's the only change
Okay.
there is. They haven't suggested any date here and there. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's break.
So now,
And we'll, yeah.
excuse me,
Yes, sir.
it's 6:30 here in Riyadh. So it will be 7. We will come back at 7. Half an hour.
So, half an hour. Yes, half
Break.
an hour. Half
Okay,
an hour.
so
break,
we will
yeah.
be back at
So what is the time at your? What is the time at your end?
6:30.
6:30. Yeah. So we'll resume at 7 o'clock. So I will just little take care. I will take or talk about the time there. Yeah.
This conference will now be recorded.
Now, what we will do is going to the next step, and we'll set up a calendar in the project, because project primary goal is to take care of time as such. So scheduling is basically about time. So we have to set up the calendar, and calendar exactly match with our organization calendar. How can we do that? Is we go to the project, because the calendar has concern with the resources as well as the tasks. So that is put into the project tab. In the project tab, there is a feature called change working time. So basically, this is a calendar feature which is used to set up calendar. Now, by default, you see there are 3 calendars available. The one is 24-hour calendar, where there is no break. One is the night calendar, that is the night working day off. And one is the standard calendar, which is the day working and night off. In this standard calendar, Saturday and Sunday are off. Okay. Now, if we see this, what we can do here is we can customize the calendars as per our organization. So by default, what we will take the standard calendar itself, because we said that we will keep the things very simple actually initially, and then we can add complexity later. So first we will try to learn how in a simple steps we can create a schedule in a proper manner. Okay, so we will take the standard calendar and try to modify this. Now there are 2 things actually. One is exception tab. So this is mainly a display area. The above part, the below part, that is the exception and work week. This is where the action is required and where you can modify or customize your calendar. Any regular change in the timing is changed using work week. Work week means regular change means the things which reoccur every week. That's a regular change. Suppose your Saturday is off or Saturday is working, suppose. Then Saturday working means it is a weekly feature. So that I have to make changes in the work week tab. Everything else I have to manage through exception. So any any day, suppose Saturday is half day working, suppose a Friday is half day working, or Friday is having a larger time for the break, something like that. So any such change every Friday will happen then. That I can change through work week. Remaining, I will keep it as exception. So I will show you that how we can put up the exceptions, and I will also show you how we can change the uh, work week calendars. So like I will just show you, probably may or may not make changes, but I will show you how we can change it. So in work week, we select the default because we want to change the complete calendar. If we want to limit the calendar, we can make another entry here. But if you want to change the basic characteristic, you can just select the default and click on detail. Work week, default, details. I get this window. Okay. If I want to make Sunday working, if you see that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are all working. If I want to make Sunday as working, then what I will do, I will go to Sunday. And as you see on Sunday, when I say Monday, you see the timing here, 8 to 12, 1 to 5. Tuesday also, all these days it is the same. So if I put the same timing on Sunday also, then I have my Sunday also as a normal working day. So I will do the same thing. I select Sunday and I try to make changes here, but I cannot make changes here because these options prevent changes here. So look at this option. The option 1 says use project default time for these days. Project default time means Sunday and Saturdays are off. Other days are 9 to 5. Sorry, 8 to 5. So I cannot use this. So I will select the second one. Second says set days to non-working time, but Sunday is already set for non-working time, so that will not be used. Then I select the third option. Third option says set days to these specific working time. I said this we can do. So what we will do, we come over here and change the calendar. So when you select this, then only it will allow the changes here. Otherwise, it will not allow changes here. I put it 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. The same time which is set here and here, I put the same time here and say OK. And you see that Sunday is now working day. Saturday is non-working day. You can see on the right hand side of the calendar, it is written 11 April is non-working, 18 April is not working, 5th April is 8 to 12, 1 to 5. Right? This is how you can change your working days. So like if Jafar is there in Saudi, he want to make Friday, Saturday as off and Sunday as working, he can do it. So if I make it like want to make Saturday, Friday as working as a non-working day, I can make it detail, select Friday, select the second option, set days to non-working time. Friday become non-working. I say okay. So Sunday to Thursday it's working, Friday, Saturday. You can do that. Right? I'm not intent to make changes right now because we have kept our 5 days working at this. Even this can be called 5 days as such. But let's keep the default calendar. I just show you how you can make the changes. And Jafar, if you choose to make these changes in your calendar, you feel free to, because it doesn't make much difference that you are Saturday, Sunday off or Friday, Saturday. Maybe something which is finishing on Friday, it will become Sunday. That's all.
Yes. Okay.
So I will go here and will revert to default time. So I will get the same calendar. Now what I will do now, Organization calendar means in general is when you observe holidays. Rest of the days are working anyway, right? So in the exception, I will mark all the holidays. I will mark all the holidays. So I come over here and mark the holidays, any working holidays, any holidays. So normally I'm not sure all over the like internationally, but 1st May is normally a holiday. We call it a Labor Day. So if I type it here, whatever date is here, it will mark as holiday. But that's not my my intention. I didn't mark 20. I don't want to mark 23rd as a holiday. But because 23rd was selected, it has automatically taken it. So it's a good idea to select the day you want to mark as holiday and then mark an holiday. But I still can do it. I can make it changes. I can go to 1st May. This is also changed because this is so now 1st May become a holiday. Right? We can make other days also holiday. I don't know what are the other days holidays. Anybody will help me? Any holiday coming up? Sorry?
15th August, 26th Jan.
Yeah. So 15th August. 15th August is already a holiday. So you will mark it or don't mark it, doesn't matter. Right? And we can mark some standard holidays. I'm not so sure. I don't remember. Normally in India, 2nd October is an holiday. We can mark the 2nd October as an holiday. I think I don't know other things, but I think there is some Eid etc. come where we mark them as holiday, but I don't remember. I think we often mark
25th December directly. 24th December.
25th December is also holiday. Yeah. So that way we can mark several holidays, whatever the holidays which are defined in your organization calendar, you can come over here and mark them as holiday. What will happen? The work will not get scheduled on these days because the work is not going to happen. Because the work is not going to happen, so it's a good idea to mark all these holidays, so that work should not get scheduled in our schedule.
These days, do we have to mark for all of every project sheet that we create, or it's a one-time setting?
There are two ways of doing it. One which I suggest is that you set up all these things in a project and save it as a template and create your project from that template. So then all these things will come there automatically.
Okay.
And that's what we do, that we try to set up a PMO, that if a PMO is there, PMO can do this. Okay, I have set up a template. Anybody want to create a new new project can use this as a template. So in template, there are many things can be possible actually. In the template, many things are possible. So in template, you can define all standard things in your organization, including a WBS actually, work breakdown structure. So
Okay.
template can save a lot of time and also standardize the things in the organization.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. So I did this. Now I will ask you also to do this actually. So you can see that how you can mark, like you can mark a day, holiday or working day. Also try out. maybe at least set up these 3 days or any other day you like as such. So do this and then let me know once you are done. You can just you can just type it into the chat box that you are done, or you need some help, let me know. What error you're getting, Ashish?
the same error which I have mentioned earlier.
You haven't downloaded the software?
I did download the software, but still I'm not
You
able to.
don't need login then.
1 second.
There is no login required.
Maybe because of my because I'm using my official laptop. Because of that, probably.
This conference will now be recorded.
So the third step now we will take is we will set a project start date. The third step is set up a project start date. So I take the project information. This is the project information. You see, on the project tab, we use change working time. On the same place, we have a project information. We will take the project information and put a date here. Put a date here. And if I consider that, and next Monday is the working day, is the first, like is the project is starting, so I can simply put it on 27th of April, right? Let's say next Monday is working, project is starting. I took it like 27th April, and that is good enough for me. Just to explain you, you can do either way actually. You can have a start date and can schedule the project to get the end date, or opposite way, you can enter finish date and prepare the schedule to get the start date. However, second approach I never recommend. The option is given, but I never recommend this option, because in general we all are forward like thinker. It's easy to do that. And second is, when we have a the finish date set up and then try to schedule the project, I see that people become little over aggressive, which is also not a good idea, because we end up having an unrealistic schedule which does not make much sense to us, which may not be executable. So we have to do that. We have to give a start date. Yes.
Excuse me. The project finished date, I think it will be in case of constraint that the higher management wants you to finish, must be finished on this date. So in that case, I think I'm not sure, but in that case, I think we should get project finish date.
Not really, because every project is like that. Every project has a finish date before you start. That's the property of the project.
So in which case they are using this one, means what will be the
in my opinion, no case.
Clear. Okay.
They're not a good idea actually. I never find it is a good idea, because there are two issues with this. People become more aggressive, and when we say back to finish, then when we put the dependency, we delay the activities as much as possible actually, which is also not a good idea. When a dependency come, I will explain you further. So in my opinion, in no case you have to put finish date, though it's an option, but it's not a good practice in my opinion. I never advise this.
Clear. Okay. Thank you.
Otherwise, every project has a end date, and that is why you are scheduling this, right? You will when you put up a start date, when you schedule this, you will get a project end date, and you check that it is finishing before the given end date, or before the given end date, and then we adjust the schedule to finish it on the end date, right?
Clear. Agree. Okay.
Yeah. So that is, it's a managing duration. It's not managing a start or end date. So we'll take the 27th as a start date, and from there we can start. So you also set up the start date, and then we will proceed further. Okay, now look at it. The next step is to create a work breakdown structure. The next step for us is to create a work breakdown structure. And just to explain you, I have put this slide that, okay, that what is a work breakdown structure? Now, work breakdown structure is nothing but a hierarchical structure which is made by decomposing bigger deliverables into smaller deliverables. And why do we do so? To make it simple to manage. Make it simple to manage. So project is normally quite big. So we divide it into smaller deliverables. We divide this into smaller deliverables and then further smaller deliverables and then further small deliverables until we reach to a place where we think or where we see that it is good enough. Actually, there is no need to further decompose because we can manage this work package easily. Now, there is no specific definition of easily or conveniently. So we will put some kind of ground rule which will bring some kind of uniformity. So how we create a work breakdown structure is in general, very common approach is that we divide the project into phases, like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, like requirement phase, design phase, development phase, testing phase, verification phase, installation and commissioning phase, and then handover. And in this each phase, we try to find out what are the deliverables in this phase. So we get some deliverables under it. And then if the deliverable is big, then we see, can we, it's not easy to manage, can we divide it into smaller pieces? So we divide this into smaller pieces. Then we again carry out this check. Can we further subdivide it, or this is sufficient? Now, how do you know this is sufficient or this requires further division? So simple equation is that in this, that use some ground rules. So one of these ground rules is like that you can estimate this piece of work easily. So if I have reached to a place where it is easy for me to estimate this, that could be one criteria. Another criteria is that it is easy to allocate. So like deliverable 1.1 is something like, it can be, I have to give it to 2 people. So I think over it, that can I break this into 2 pieces and give 1 piece to 1 person, or one team, or one group, something like that. So I try to manage this, and I put this into 1.1.1 and 1.1.2. So give it to 2 different team or 2 different groups. So it make my life simple, that I can allocate the whole work package to someone. Now, another third thing which you can do is that have a tracking cycle. So suppose your tracking cycle is 1 week, means every week you go and see the project, track the project. Is it working well, or what's the status? Can we have to do some kind of retrofitting or something like that? That also you can check, that is the work package big enough for tracking. So if a 1 week tracking, if I track every week, then I try to keep the work package which can be developed in 1 week. I try to keep the work package near to 1 week, so that I need not some scale. I does not require any scale which has to measure the precision of this progress. So if I have kept the work package which can be developed in 1 week, that means after a week, either the work package is developed or not developed. If it is developed, then it means I am well within my schedule. If it is not developed, that means I am getting delayed. And then I can investigate, and it is easy. It's precise enough. So there are three things. One is easy to estimate, easy to allocate, easy to track. You can set some kind of for like figures for you, what is called easy to track, what is called easy to allocate, what is called easy to estimate, and then you can say that if it is fitting into these ground rules, then I think we are well. We need not to do any further decomposition, because the over decomposition is also a problem. Though the decomposition will make our life simple, but if we do over decomposition, it will start making our life difficult. It will increase overhead. It will add management overhead into the system, which will not help. So Ashish, you are saying, so these deadlines can be changed. I didn't get. What do you mean by deadlines here?
So we are mentioning like a week or two period here. So as per the requirement, this can be changed also, right? Maybe early or maybe delay.
In a project, you set one duration. So it's not a deadline, it's a duration. You can say that okay,
Okay.
my work package should complete in 1 week or 2 week or 1 month, whatever it is. But keep a standard for the project. Don't
Yeah.
vary it from this to this. But there is no hard and fast rule. 1 week means near around 1 week. So even half week is okay. Even 2 weeks is
Correct,
okay.
correct.
But if you have done 1 week, then 1 month is not okay.
Agreed on your point. I'm talking about the phases wise. Let's for a project, we have a project for a month, and we have considered for 4 phases, which is divided into 4 weeks. So first week probably have been done, but second week going through the project, we have identified that there may be some more scenario which we have to look out. So that 7 days can be moved to 9 or 10 days. That means on the third week, right?
Not as such. That I will not suggest that, because it
Okay.
is the planning stage right now. You are in the
Yeah, that's the
planning. So
planning. So I got it.
project is not happening right now. Project is not in execution. So you really don't know what turn out to be. So
Okay, okay,
in
got it.
planning, yeah, in planning, I'm just forecasting. I'm looking at the future and see how it will be done, and I stick to my definitions. When the execution will happen, we will see that how execution has to be managed,
Got it,
right?
got it, got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is work package, and then once the work package is done, created, we can create activities under it. So work package is a deliverable, and activities are to be performed. So when we said prepare a work breakdown structure, that means from project top level task till the activities. So the last node in the whole hierarchy will be our activities, and we will basically estimate the duration for each activity. That will make our project to complete in a certain time which we have estimated. So let's see how we can do this in this project. So we can decide on any project, and we can prepare that project actually here, right? So like I can go back, and in the project, and we can decide on some of the project, which project we want to like create, which project will be like, it is easy to for everyone, not like someone has to put too much of efforts to understand the industries beyond his. So let's take a common industry, common thing which people can easily like assimilate with example. Any suggestion?
Construction. Construction is more familiar, means several everybody knows.
Construction.
Yes.
Of a house.
Sorry.
Yeah, construction itself, but construction of a house or a apartment kind of thing.
Simple construction.
Yeah.
Simple construction. So simple construction we can take. I think that's normally people know what normally happens in developing in a house as such. And we will keep it simple. We will not go into too much of nitty-gritties of construction things. Looks okay with all the other people also?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, so let's see so who is the construction expert here? So he can help me in developing it. Zafar, you are there in construction?
No, I actually am in telecom, but I know the basic.
Okay,
This
you are in
means
telecom. Okay,
yes,
okay,
we can do that. Yes.
okay. We can, I think we can do, we can in the construction, I think we can have a mix of that. We can install a tower of the telecommunication tower. That will be good. So it will construction plus some kind of installation of some kind of I say mobile tower, something like that. If that makes sense.
That's also on the rooftop. You can install any tower. You can build any tower. But
Right. You have some idea how it is done?
Actually, the construction is more common, and everybody
Simple.
can,
Okay.
regardless of the
Okay.
their
So let's okay. So let's make a let's make an independent bungalow kind of things actually. An independent house we can say. So let's say we can have an independent house and see that what we normally do in independent house. Let's divide this into 4 phases or 4-5 phases, whatever it is. I think first normally a kind of uh, land selection. Is that fine?
yes, land selection.
Second could be
Area.
design. No, I'm talking about the phases. So what's the land selection? I think it is a design. The bigger things on the top level. So I will go from top to bottom. So first I will define top and then we'll go to divide this into further pieces, then divide it into further pieces, something like that.
Yes, design.
So land selection, then could be design, and then it could be like construction.
Yes, construction.
Then could be validation. And then commission. Done. I think these 5 phases would be good enough.
Yes, these are.
And in this, we will go and write the next level, the deliverables within land selection. So there are few things like maybe a land survey, which will be required for land selecting the land, and then identification of land. We say land identification, and probably land registration, right? And once land registration, I think the land selection is over.
Yes, land selection.
So I say selection is over. Land select or
Yes.
land selected, something like. Let's see, land selected. Land selected is a milestone, right? Our one phase is over. But these are all part of land selection, bigger deliverable. So we have divided a big deliverable, that is the land selection, into smaller. So they are part of the land selection. So I will select all these and put this under land selection. How I can put under the selection? There is a task tab. In the task tab, we can see this is called indent and there is something called outdent. So indent will put these tasks into the task which is just above it. So I selected this. Just above it, there is a length selection. So it has put all these things under it. If I did it by mistake, I can simply do outdent. So indent will make them part of the length selection. Let's repeat this for design. I can say like architecture, detailed drawings.
Vivek sir, I just have one question.
Yes.
You are adding the rows, is it?
Right.
Okay.
I will tell you how to quickly add rows. Okay. Architecture, detailed drawing. I'm just trying to keep it like simple so that everybody understands it. And probably you say design approval, right? Put them under design, indent, right? Now they have become part of the design. Then I go to construction. The first part will be procurement. Right? Then procurement, then I think once procurement, I think you will do the excavation. Then I think the plinth, which probably is completing the foundation. Let's say foundation. Then say ground floor. And independent, I think it's a house, so we can keep it for ground floor and the first floor probably. This much should be good enough. I think let's have ground floor and first floor. Right? We can put this everything under construction. Then validation. Validation means there will be some kind of testing of the whatever things are done. A validation by some maybe survey by, and then probably I think some occupation certificate you normally need, right? Let's say let's say OC, occupation certificate you get after the corporation etc. will survey and give you permission to live in that. And then commissioning. So commissioning basically like I say
Acceptance, handover to customer.
Acceptance, acceptance, and then handover and the project over. Right? These are part of collection. Right? You will see that everywhere I have put some milestones, like land selected is a milestone. So milestones normally do not have any duration. They are point in time. So I make them as 0 here. As soon as I put 0, you see that Microsoft project treated differently. It has changed the icon to milestone. So any milestone means 0 duration. So any task you want to make it as a milestone, make it 0 duration. Similarly, design approval is a milestone for us. Similarly, but the construction, I think we have not put anything. So we can put another milestone here that maybe it's anything like say ready for testing or something, ready for validation, maybe something like that. So this could be 0. And here occupation certificate could be a certificate, so coming from outside, so it could be a milestone. and project over is like a milestone, right? Probably here we have precise enough as such, but in construction probably we need to go a little deeper as such, right? So like procurement, I think I have to do some kind of vendor selection, and once vendor selection happens, I have to place orders, right? That could be part of procurement, right? And excavation and foundation, probably I can add someone a task above. We call it summary task, that foundation, and foundation probably because it gone into near to place order, I have to bring it back and put this inside, and instead of foundation I can write it plinth. So these two work will put up the foundation work, correct? And then I think what is this here in this generally we often call yeah, I think instead of foundation we can put something. I remember some terminology are normally used as substructure and superstructure. I'm right? I will take it back. And this I will put inside, not this exactly, the ground floor and the first floor. And probably I need to put something in ground floor. Let's say concrete work.
Make it like civil, MEP, and wood like this.
Okay, so what is the concrete and what is the first thing?
Civil work.
Civil work. Okay, civil work, and then MEP.
Yes.
Okay.
And then for the wood, the doors and the windows, it will be under wood. Woodwork or what? What is the specific name for this? I don't know.
You can say finishing.
Yeah, finishing. Tiles and
paint and wooden work, whatever it is.
Yes, same will be for three.
Yeah, and then we say
same
ground
civil
G floor done.
Finish. Yes.
Right, and we put this under G floor.
Yes.
And similar thing is for the first floor, correct? So I will select all these three, copy it, put it here and paste here. So I will put this and inside this, and instead of G floor, I will say it first floor. Right, so this will be 0 and this will be 0. Right, this looks good. Understandable, easy. I hope it is easy, understandable to by everyone. Looks good. Let me save this.
So if you put the duration 0, it will be automatically, it will consider as a milestone.
Right.
Okay.
right? So I have called it as an independent house. So I think you can also make it. I will just keep it for you. You see it and make it. Once you are done, we will proceed further. Right?
Sir, how to insert the row? Is it the insert task?
Yeah, I will tell you. Just press the insert key.
Insert, okay. Because there is option
Insert
insert
key.
task.
Yeah, but it will take time. But if you press insert key on the keyboard, it is faster actually. It's a shortcut actually for that. So all are done. Anybody is still in progress? Okay, done. Okay, fair enough, no problem. Okay, so let's move on from here. So I think looking at the today's time, we will do one more step here, and then we will move to the next session. So what next step we have to do is, and we will do a step which can be quickly done. So we have only 15 minutes left. So what we'll do, we will put the estimate for each activity here. We will put the estimate for each activity here. Just to give you some understanding, let me put that our this again back here. See, look at this. If you look at this, if you have done work at task 1, task 2, task 3. Now, task 1, task 2, task 3 completion means work package 5.1.2 is done, right? There is nothing to be done at this stage. Only at this level you need to do. If this and this are done, then that means this is done. And if this are done, then it means this is done. And if this and this are done, then this is done. So basically, if we are done with these activities and tasks, then I think we have done with the project. So there is no action required at work package or above. We required action at the task level only. That is the lowest level. No, so if we put estimate here, estimate here, estimate here, we will get the estimate here. We'll estimate here, we will get the estimate here. If we get the estimate here, we will get the estimate here. So there is no need to do at the upper level. We just need to do at the bottomest level, the bottom level actually. So what we do here, we need not to estimate here. We will estimate only this. We will estimate here. We will estimate here, not here, not here, neither here, not even here, here only. In the hierarchy, which is the last node, there we have to estimate our activities. That's all. So we need not to touch these bold things, which are actually representing the summary task. That is a high level task, which are not at the bottom. Right? We should not touch them altogether. So let's see how much time do you think will take survey will take? Around a week? Week or 2 weeks? What do you say? Anybody will have
10 days.
10 days. So let's say 10 days, 2 weeks. And then land identification, probably you have a couple of them, probably another week. And registration preparation and doing the registration, probably 1 or 2 days. Right? And then going for the architecture take how much time normally it takes? Have any idea? Anybody?
I think again a week time, because people will consult also.
Yeah, let's say around a week. A detailed drawing maybe take a little time. So maybe a maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
3 days.
2 weeks. 2 weeks could be good enough. 10 days, 15 days. Okay, yeah, I think 3 weeks. I think detailed drawings normally take time. Then it will be the procurement. So probably the vendor selection, which could be a little longer process. So we normally do not look for that bigger things, but because we are doing at a higher level, we can really do not create too many tasks. But vendor selection normally like sending some details to the people, getting their bids, then talking to them, and then finalizing some vendors. Normally take around say month or so. I think it will not take less than a month. What do you say?
Yes, minimum 4 weeks.
Minimum 4 weeks. So either we can
Yeah,
write
IRFE.
to 20 days, or maybe we can also write 4 weeks. It can take 4 weeks. It's the same. It is same actually. So if I write 20, it will take 20 days. If I write anywhere, it will normally take by default days. But if I want some other unit to use, I can use other units also. Then place order, probably 1 or 2 days should be good enough, right? Once the vendor is selected, or you have a couple of vendors, then allocating them work shouldn't be a long work as such. And then the work has to be started. And then it will start with the excavation. Let's say 2 weeks, 10 days. This is good enough, or it will take time.
Oh, it's a normal house. It's 2 weeks is enough. We are not giving
then,
for a.
No, I think foundation will
Yeah.
take more time, according to me,
Okay.
because the base
Say
is
3 weeks.
foundation.
Yeah, base is foundation. So excavation is just digging actually. So maybe
Yeah, so
15 days, we can take 3 weeks. 3 weeks, okay? And then we could go to the civil work. Civil work, I think, take most of the time. For
Yeah.
one floor, how much like how much you think? How much concrete and plaster, etc., whatever it is required. I think there are 3 things: concrete, brickwork, plaster, flooring.
6 weeks.
6 weeks. Yes, I think.
Sir, I have one doubt.
Yeah.
How is the starting date same for all?
I didn't get you. Say it again.
Say the start date for every activity is same.
Yeah, we are not looking at the start date. Start date of all activities is currently the start of the project. We are not scheduled them. We are just putting the estimate.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just putting the estimate. MEP probably
3
4
weeks.
weeks, 3 weeks. Yeah.
3 or 4, yeah.
Finishing maybe 10 weeks, 10 days, or even 10 days. I think it will take. I think it will take minimum 2 weeks. Anyway, it will take. It will not be done. And we can repeat this below also, right?
Yes.
No, I think that will be a lesser on the first floor, according to my understanding. Because once the ground floor is done, the upper part
Civil.
is more easier to build.
Okay, probably 4 weeks. MEP will be more or less same, and
Yes.
finishing will also be more or less same. Right, and then probably a week for testing, 2 days for validation, acceptance. Means basically is a kind of acceptance means a kind of showing actually basically. Right now that taking the walkthrough basically. We can say walkthrough. You can take 2 days for that. Handover, I think not a big house, so maybe another 2 days.
Yes.
Handover. So that's done. right? Let's do it. Now remember that we have not touched these summary tasks. Okay, you should not touch. If you touch them, they will convert into manually scheduled tasks, because then Microsoft project understand you want to take a control, so he converts into manual scheduled tasks. You take care if you want to that way. So he stopped calculating that then. Currently he is calculating its own. So don't touch, just fill these things only. The activity which is the last node.
Some of these places we have observed this question mark. So does that
Yeah.
mean that it was not scheduled, or what is it?
The question mark is normally by default. When you see, there is everywhere it was question mark, right?
Right.
Initially, when you type any activity, you will see a question mark always. So basically, it shows that it is actually estimated by MS Project or calculated by MS Project as such. Unless you overwrite it, then the question mark goes away. So it has no other significance. So you just ignore it actually if there is any, if it is there anyway.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes. Yeah.
Sir, I just completed, but I have a question. That in my project, the headings like the land selection and design, these are by default 1 day. Why? It's like for yours, it's summing up the activities, but
10
for
days.
mine, it's 1 day or 1 day each.
You are saying this is 10 day. In your case, it is 1 day.
The first one,
No,
like
this
land
is
selection.
first one.
Land selection. If
Have
I
you
feel like
indented this? Have you
yeah, it's
indented this?
yes. Land survey, land selection is land survey, land identification, and land registration. These are intended
Yeah.
to the land selection, but it's not summing up the days to land selection.
Is it what you are seeing here? Is it not like this, right?
No, for the down it's okay, like
Is it?
superstructure
It is
30
like
days
this.
and yes. But for the first two, like for land selection, let me give you a picture of this one in
I
the
think
group.
Vivek,
maybe
what he's saying is basically the land selection duration should addition of all the
Some
three below, like 10,
yes.
5, 5, and 2. Yeah, total.
no.
Yeah, should
It
be
will
7,
never be.
because in
Let
other,
me give
It
you
will never
this.
be. No, he's saying it is 1 day, not 10 days.
Can you just how
no,
can I?
like
Therefore,
in design,
you
it
are saying
coming
this as
16 days. Like in
Yes,
design, it coming
this one,
15 days. Detail,
sir. Like for the land selection, the first one is 10 days. Okay, for
correct.
yours.
Yes.
But for mine, it's only 1 day.
That is the issue. That the bold one.
Yes, the bold one, the land selection itself.
Only 1 day.
Yes, and
See
for design,
this
also
just
it's 1 day.
do one thing, select that particular piece and click on this
Okay.
auto schedule. Probably this may be the reason. On the task tab, click the auto schedule.
Wait, right click.
No, just click on that. Left click only. Is this make a difference?
No, I'm not able to find the auto. Switch to auto schedule. Yes, it's working now.
It's working now. So actually, kya hai? If I put 1 day here, it
Okay.
converts into a manually scheduled mode. That's what I will say. You will see here this instead of this. There's a difference. You see here, this is the auto schedule, this is manual schedule. So whatever you do here, it will not change. So what I did, I select this and convert this into auto schedule. When I convert it into schedule,
No.
then start calculating it.
Okay. So
Now
all
you
should
might
work.
have this. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Now it's working.
Yeah, you might have by mistake has put up some one day on that, which like initially when we are not familiar, we often do this. But
Yes. Now it's with auto selection switch. If I right click, it's now it's okay.
right.
For the rest, it's auto selection. Thank you. Done. Mine is done.
Okay, so for today, I think this much is good enough. And for today's session, we will close it now. And in the next session, we will start from here. We will get into the dependency assessment and assignment, and then we'll move into the kind of the resource assignment, preparing the resource list, and then assigning them this, preparing the completing this schedule in the next session on Friday. Right? So thank you very
I
much
have one
for
question.
your yes, please.
In between, Ashish has touched one point. Like in the land selection, we have three tasks: land survey, land identification, and registration. practically we are doing it one after another. That is
Correct.
first 10 days land survey, 5 days
Currently,
land identification, and 2 days registration.
currently, I don't know. I'm not concerned about it. I'm just concerned about that how much time they will take whenever they get performed.
Mhm.
So when we do a dependency assignment, then we think about it, which will be done first, which will be done second, or which way it should be done, which is the next step.
Acha. Okay, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Got it.
That will reflect the schedule of the project after the
Right.
assigning the dependency.
Right. Then it will start taking shape. Right now we have listed down all the
Yes.
and we have given their estimate that individual activity how much time they will take. That's all.
Clear.
So what you are saying
Clear.
will be completed in the next step.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Got it.
Good. So thank you very much for like your contribution, keeping this thing like interactive, and I hope you are getting the ideas how we are progressing, and you are getting a hang of this tool. And any question, what I will do, I will form a WhatsApp group. You have any question, you can drop it there. You can discuss some things in the WhatsApp group also. And if there is some file is
That
to
will
be
be
shared
better,
here,
boss.
use those WhatsApp group to share with each other. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Thank you,
that
boss.
will do.
See
Thank you
you
so
on
much.
Friday,
Okay. Thank you.
the
Thank
same
you.
time. Yeah. Thank
Thank
you.
Same
you.
time.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye to all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.